Hi, my name is Tricia Seifert, and I am a co-designer of the board game Success Prints Crash Course. Success Prints Crash Course is a college transition board game that derived out of the Blueprints for Student Success research project. Over many years, I've talked with college and university students about how they made the transition from high school to college and what they wish they would have known, the inner story, if you will, the hidden curriculum about how to do college rather than being done in by college. And that's how we came up with this board game. It's to help you figure out how to come up with the perfect balance of academic performance and social connections. And that, at the end of the day, is the successful recipe for college. And so the object of Success Prints Crash Course is to balance and maximize your social connections, represented here by the currency social, plus your GPA, here the currency GPA, while being able to pay your tuition, right? Cash is very important, and at the end of the game you have to have 10 cash cards in order to pay your tuition while managing stress. So in a nutshell, that's the general object of the game. And you play the game by strategically deploying your time, represented by some colored time blocks. In this version of the game, we have the red player, the black player, the green player, and the orange player. We play the game as sort of a shortened version of a college semester in 9 weeks. And if you look at the game board here, it represents a university, the mythical tabletop university. And here in the parking lot is our calendar. We start with orientation, and that lets us know that we start with an event, we spend our time, we have the end of the week, which I think of as Sunday night, and then we pay out in terms of how we chose to use our time this week. So you might ask, how do I use my time? Well, a successful college student is certainly going to spend some time in class, and so for every time block you place in the class area, you're going to earn some study. Study is really important because it's only by the amount of study that you've accumulated that helps you earn GPA at midterms and finals. So you might choose to spend some time in class. You might choose to spend some time working. You know, it's important to be able to pay tuition. You might choose to spend some time in a hobby because that's how you can meet some friends. Maybe your hobby is the campus radio station. Maybe you're looking to be a DJ. Maybe your hobby is hanging out at the fitness center playing pickup basketball. Either way, you get to choose whether your time spent in the hobby either earns you social or is a stress relief. But we also have these great things around campus, and this is what students often are not aware of. For example, office hours. A great way to use your time is to choose to go to office hours and to get to know your instructor and their name and their face, and most importantly for them to get to know you. So spending one of your time blocks in office hours is going to yield you 2 study points at the end of the week. You might also say, you know, I'd like to spend my time, maybe I'll go a little bit more to class, and you know, I've really heard that the scholarship coordinator is worthwhile. So I'm going to spend 2 of my time this week working on a scholarship for next year because I know it'll help me pay my tuition. And for all of your hard work, you're awarded the scholarship, and at the end of the week you get 3 cash. But notice, I've spent all of my 12 blocks of time. I have nothing left. Well, sometimes as a college student, you might feel like that's the case. And when you spend all of your time and you haven't saved anything back to rest, rejuvenate, and most importantly, sleep, you're probably going to feel pretty stressed. So if you deploy all 12 of your time blocks at the end of the week, you get 2 stress. If you say, well, how do I stay stress-free? Well, you have to spend some time taking care of yourself. And you need to hold back 4 of your time blocks, which might mean you make a different decision on how you spend your time this week. Maybe you work less and you continue to go to class at the same rate. And now with 4 time blocks in front of me, I'm stress-free this week. It's really important as a college student to keep your eye on your schedule because different weeks have different things going on. And in Success Prince Crash Course, we have all sorts of different things that might happen. So for example, in orientation week, week 1, the first thing that happens is an event. And so we draw from the events cards right over here. And I've pre-drawn. Our event this week is late night tacos. You're famished, but it's 2 a.m. Luckily, the local taco place around the corner is only open after midnight and it's got the best tacos in the universe. You can choose to spend time going to this social event and it only requires 1 of your time blocks. So let's start again with our 12 time blocks and how we're going to spend time. I definitely want to go to late night tacos. You never know who you're going to meet there. Probably some cool people. So I'm going to at least spend 1 time in order to get a social point for going out. But we know that in order to make friends, you got to hang out for more than 1 time block. So I'm going to wager a little bit more time at this social event because I heard that there are very cool people that hang out at the taco place. Professor Roca, for example, a professor of astronautics and aerospace engineering, she's a taco lover and I'd love to get to know her. So I'm going to wager 3 of my time blocks and hopeful that the other players don't wager as many. But there's also Ashton. I might meet him there, and he has some really nice superpowers. In fact, if he's my friend, I might never have to draw a Life Happens card. We'll get to that in a moment. So when it's a social event, you choose how much time you want to wager, place it in your hand, and then after 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's the big reveal. And here's the question, will 3 time blocks be enough to be able to choose Professor Roca as my friend? We'll have to wait and see. The first friend choice goes to the player or team of players that wager the most of their time blocks. That's how events work, and that's how you make friends. Friends are really important in the game. They're part of how you earn social points. For every friend at the end of the game, you get a social point. But friends, like in real life, they have some relationship maintenance requirements. Ashton, he's a cool guy, and he's always there to talk. But he requires 1 time block spent with him every week. His superpower, however, is that I may never have to draw a Life Happens card. You might ask, what happens when life happens? Well, luck of the deck. This one is a powerful, very positive one. Service learning. Helping your community learning new skills and earning college credit? Awesome. -1 stress if you have some. +2 study. That's a very cool Life Happens. But sometimes, let's see, you might have dropped a class too late and you accidentally missed the deadline. This could really harm your GPA if you had that happen to you. So, life happens, events happen, and this is college after all, so assignments happen. Sometimes during the week, like in week 2, we have an assignment. We draw from the assignment deck, 1 assignment per player, and this one is scenario is education. Well, that's interesting. I didn't even know, but I'm an education professor. And the scenario requires me in my assignment to describe how you would calm 2 students in conflict. For every 2 hours that I spend on my assignment, I earn 1 GPA. That's pretty awesome. This assignment has a max grade of 2 GPA. And so if I put 4 time blocks on, I'll make the max grade. Wicked. 2nd GPA. So really, Success Prince Crash Course is a chance to practice and play college before the consequences are real. It gives you a chance to figure out your time strategy so that you can maximize your social, maximize your GPA, manage your stress, and have enough money to pay for college. Because at the end of the day, it takes a whole lot of balancing action to make it work, but I know you can do it. Thanks, and I hope to see you at Success Prints Crash Course at the mythical Tabletop University.